Today is 834th day of the war that Russia is waging on Ukraine. Russia has been feeling the wrath of the entire world. Right now, it's the most sanctioned country in the human history, not even in the world, in the entire human history. But if you think that Russian economy has withstood the sanctions and is doing well, you're wrong. And if you think that Russia will soon run out of money to finance this war, you are also wrong. I want to explain what's going on and when Russia will really run out of money to finance the war. And I'll try to put it in this very complicated issue into simple words. Let's dive in. Run out of money to finance the war, and I'll try to put it in this very complicated issue. Well, something seems to be wrong with my audio. Well, I will try to fix that. Well, not working, but anyway. Howdy, friends. My name is Konstantin. Welcome to Inside Russia, where usual Russia is explained by the unusual Russian. No propaganda, BS, or lies here. Only truth, common sense, and logic. And some emotions too, because I'm a human being after all. Before I start, please be informed that today's live stream will consist of 3 parts. The message of when Russia will run out of money, then discussion and sharing opinions in the live stream chat, and a prayer at the end. 834 days. I'm thinking about that number, and I can't actually believe it's been that long. How far it's gone? Unbelievable. Almost 2.5 years. But if I start thinking of the war not in terms of days, but lost lives, razed cities, destroyed economies, broken families, these things, then it's like a dark wave of pain, and darkness starts rising inside of me, and I guess inside of many people as well. I heard for Ukraine and for the Ukrainians. I also heard for Russia. Yes, Russia is the aggressor. Yes, Russia is responsible. But it's doing the aggression not only towards Ukraine, but also towards itself. Or to be more precise, against its own future. And the longer the aggression is happening, the more damage Russia is doing to Ukraine and to itself, the more damage it's doing to itself, the longer it'll take to recover for Russia. Not for Ukraine. I think that Ukraine will start shining after the war ends, because Ukraine has support of the entire world, and it'll be helped, and it'll be propelled into greatness. Russia, on the contrary, will be ostracized. It's being ostracized right now. We're seeing the process as we speak, so to speak. In the future, it will not get any better for a very long time. So, for how long this war will be fought? That's the question on everyone's mind right now. To answer, we need to know when exactly Putin will run out of money, because money in today's Russia is everything. First, why Putin will run out of money, but not Russia will run out of money. Because right now, Russian state and Russian economy are controlled by one man. That's Vladimir Putin. All major decisions are made by Putin personally. He decides everything, including what Russian army does in Ukraine and how taxpayers' money are spent. This is why the real question is when exactly Putin will run out of money. There are 3 major tasks that Putin needs money for today. Number 1, the war money, to keep the war going. Number 2, the economy money, to keep the economy afloat so Russia remains somewhat livable and the government works. And that is very important for him. And number three, the appeasement money, to appease Russian population from being too angry. This is Putin's equation. The war is needed, so it's the constanta, the war money. There's simply no way around it now. At the same time, the war is running the economy to the ground, and I'll talk why in details a little bit later about that. And people are becoming angrier because of a decline in economy and because of the war, and it's all driving the living standard, the lives much worse and the living standard low. So Putin's priority right now is to balance these three things with main focus on the war, of course. But this balancing is becoming more and more difficult. A big problem. Russia is earning less and less. There's simply not enough money for these three tasks. There used to be a lot, but not any longer. For two simple reasons. More spendings, less earnings. Let's talk about spendings first. Let's talk about earnings first. Russia has always earned its money from extracting and exporting natural resources. You see, Russians don't produce much. At least I don't know much of what produced in Russia and exported abroad. I look around myself and others who live in Uzbekistan. We mostly use things designed in California and produced in China, but not in Russia. Perhaps I'm not informed. If you know anything that Russia is famous in the world for, that people all over the world buy and use that is made in Russia, please let me know in the comments down below. I would love to know. Please inform me right there. The sad part is that Russians can't even produce equipment to extract the mineral riches from Russian soil. They use equipment designed and produced in California and in Texas. So it's extracting and exporting mineral resources, mostly oil and natural gas, all Russian bread makers. And this is where the problem is. In the past, Russia had many great customers, namely European countries. Rich, honest, paying top dollar, top euro for Russian riches. Then Russia invaded Ukraine and became pariah. Almost everyone turned away from Russia. Well, almost everyone, except for China and India. But again, there are even problems with China and with India. Russia is selling natural gas to the Chinese at huge discounts right now, barely breaking even. And it physically cannot sell natural gas to India due to India's location and lack of pipelines to India. And as for oil, again, it's selling oil to China at huge discounts because the market is competitive, over-competitive for, to sell oil to China. And to India, it's selling oil for India's currency, rupees, that Russia cannot spend anywhere outside of India. I'm telling you this so you understand that the money Russia is currently earning cannot cover these three things: the war, the economy, and the appeasement. Now, on top of less earnings, there are more spendings. Remember, Russia is at war right now, so it must spend so much more to support its military than it used to. And this is what it is right now. The military spendings, let's put it this way, Russia hasn't seen anything like this before, ever. Record military spendings. In one hand, it earns much less, on the other hand, it spends so much more. So, you see, this kind of like a weird disbalance. Putin is trying hard to come up with more money. He's trying to raise taxes in Russia, introduce new fines and fees, devalue Russian currency, Russian ruble. But that's peanuts compared to oil and natural gas money. He must balance the best he can, but he can only do so much. So what are Putin's priorities right now? The top priority is the war. That is his life. He will pay as much as needed. He will come up with money or he will die trying. There's no way he's going to cut expenses. The second priority is the state. The government must keep on working. It is also very, extremely, hugely important because Putin is the state. He is the integral part of the Russian government, Russian political system that is called the vertical of power. He had been building it for the past 24 years. So with one reason, and one reason only, and this is very important to know, he has built it so it would protect him. All the Siloviki, those who have rights to use violence against Russian citizens, they have the main goal to protect current political system and Putin personally. And he will pay as much as needed because the minute he will stop paying them, they will stop protecting him and will keep all the weapons and do whatever they wish. And I don't think that's the scenario that Putin likes very much. So it makes the appeasement the priority number 3. Well, you know what? At this point, the appeasement and the appeasement process and the appeasement money, they cease to be the priority at all. And that is, it becomes sacrifice. This is where Russia is facing the biggest problems. And I shouldn't say Russia, okay? Because I think I'd be more right to say it's the Russians are going to face these problems. They are going to pick up the tab. It's the problem of the Russians, the Russian people. So this is what's going to happen. Let me, before I tell you what's going to happen, I'd like to thank you. Those of you who bought me coffees at buycoffee.com, you buying me coffees shows that you value my work, and that is hugely important to me. Thank you, friends. It motivates and inspires me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, what will happen? When will Putin run out of money? A few things will happen in Russia. I foresee happening. Number 1, taxes. Russians will pay more and more taxes. And I mean Russian regular people and businesses as well. There are big companies, they belong to Putin's friends. They will not pay more taxes. Moreover, they will get subsidies from the government. But that's a different story, okay? Those large companies, they're called state-owned companies, just like Gazprom, they're out of the equation because they're a different story. Regular people will pay more taxes. As you know, a new taxation system was introduced a few days ago, and Russians are going to be paying significantly more. And Russian businesses, oh boy, I will make a stream about that very soon. So, number 1, taxes. Number 1. Number 2, communal services, or the utilities, whatever you call them. They will be failing more and more and more. There's one problem with the utilities, and they only function normally when they're maintained, and they require constant maintenance, constant. And then the users pay the price for water, for electricity, for natural gas, and then the price of maintenance should be inside the prices that the consumers pay. Well, it should be, but it's not, because Russian government had been conducting this policy of appeasement. That industry, the utilities industry, was heavily subsidized by the state. Appeasement, remember? The state appeased people by making them pay less and picking up tab for maintaining the utilities. But that's no more, because Russian state, Vladimir Putin, does not have money for that anymore. Moreover, he is trying to come up as much money as possible to channel them into a different direction to support the war, to pay the military more and more, okay? And when you stop maintaining utilities, they fail. And this is exactly what we saw last year. Russian utilities were failing left and right. 27 people, 27 cities, large cities, declared state of emergency. Now, not much money is being spent on maintaining utilities now. And guess what's going to happen this upcoming winter? Well, we just had floods in the spring. Now we are into a fire season in the summer. And in the winter, in the fall and in the winter, I mean, Russian winter is no joke, you know. We will see, I think we'll see a catastrophe. But time will tell soon. Give it 3 months. Number 3, living infrastructure. I called living infrastructure everything that people use in everyday life. Roads, you know, as comes first to mind, bridges, parks, things like that, you know. The pictures that are coming from all over Russia now about the sad state of roads, they're pretty bad, you know. I don't have any pictures right now. I will leave them for Friday crazy news update, but you're going to be amazed when you see them because, well, if you don't fix the roads, then they just kind of fall apart. And in Russia, they fall apart extra fast because they were built not according to the proper technology, because usually the road builders steal lots of money in Russia. So living infrastructure will be declining a big time. Number 4, safety. More and more resources will be spent to protect the state from the citizens, not the citizens from the criminals. You see, that's the state is supposed to be protecting citizens from bad guys, but when the state becomes a bad guy, that's just a completely different story. There was a magnificent example of that, and that is Crocus City Hall shooting. That happened not too long ago, a couple months. There was a massive mass shooting happening, and a big police station was literally around the corner, literally 50 meters from the mass shooting. And the cops, instead of taking their guns and running to help save lives of regular citizens, they ran the different direction. Because it's not their goal to save the citizens any longer. It's their goal to save the state, you know. This is incredible. This is imagine all the criminals that were released from Russian prisons coming back to Russian cities. Who is going to protect regular people? No one. Do-it-yourself project. You know. Number 5, education. Now I'm going to tell you a true story, an insight, so to speak. Well, there will be problems in education. You see, education is about children going to school and learning things. Okay, and this is not the case in Russia any longer, because there's much less money to teach children. But whatever is left, the focus is on and will be increasing on indoctrination children. Okay? And now there's a true story. One of the people I know at Tashkent Breakfast Club, one of the exiles living here, told me a story. The person worked in Russian education system until September of 2022. And about July 2022, there was a meeting arranged with the Deputy Minister of Education, one of the deputies, there are quite a few. And this person who owned a company, he or she, I'm not going to tell you, introduced an idea, made a presentation to the Deputy Minister of Education of how to increase effectiveness of teaching at high schools, And the Deputy Minister of Education shut them down almost immediately. He said, look, we're not looking at any projects that are educational. And the person was amazed. She or he said, this is the Ministry of Education, isn't it? He goes, well, we used to educate before. Now we are making patriots. And educating is for children. Educating children is for their parents, okay? And that was a clear change from what the Ministry of Education used to stand for, about education, not anymore. So there will be big problem, I foresee, in education, because less money will be spent on children, for schools, for universities, and more money will be spent on indoctrination. So number 6, healthcare. Another DIY project. Healthcare, Russian healthcare, free, 100% subsidized before by the state. Not so, because there's no money. We're seeing it right now. It's happening, folks. It's happening. There is not enough, there are shortages all over Russia of certain medicines, chemo for cancer. I know, because we have friends reaching us out from Russia and asking, hey, can you go to a pharmacy and buy this chemo treatment and send it to Russia so we have it, because they don't have, you can't buy certain things, and this trend is increasing. Okay, this is just the beginning. We had about 5 people reached out and asked us to buy some medical supplies here in Tashkent. This is scary, okay, but this is happening. Number 7, small businesses. No one really cares about helping small businesses survive anymore. The state used to have special programs and so forth. Now all they do is they increase taxes. They try to get more money out of small businesses, and it's going to be happening more and more. Number 8, different personal benefits from the state. This is Putin's best child, most favorite child. He's been talking about it for the past 2 years. How state is running this wonderful, marvelous support programs, that give subsidies to different families, different types of Russians, families of the ones who have many kids, and families of the ones who are fighting in Ukraine and so forth. And there's going to be no more, because simply money is running dry. So number 9, decline in wages. There are a certain group of Russians who benefit from the war. I call them the war profiteers. And they're not just Putin's friends, okay? They're about 10 million Russians people who somehow are involved with the war economy. They could be running companies that supply certain things to the army. They could be simply Russian folks who work at factories producing ammo, armor, anything military, There are those who are fighting, signed up and receive lots of money every month for fighting in Ukraine, and I call them the war profiteers. They're doing much better now than they used to. These people didn't used to make lots of money, but now they are. And it's just the thing is there are 10 million of them, and there are 145 or 46 million Russians. Perhaps less now, but still. So you see, those who profiteer are so few compared to the entire population in Russia. And entire population is having their wages declining. Even if they stay the same, if the wages, they don't show the increase, it's the same thing as a decline, because inflation is quite high in Russia. And if you make, let's say, 100,000 rubles today, it's not the same money as if you were making 100,000 rubles a year before. Okay, so it's safe to say that most Russians have their wages decline, and the trend is on the rise. There will be more and more decline of the wages. Entire industries will get ruined. Poster child, car manufacturing, it's already gone. Russia did have a car making industry. It was not a brilliant one, but the country had this industry. It had plants that manufactured cars, and some of them were even, Russian made. They sucked. They were not good. They were not anymore, because they have been replaced by the Chinese cars. Vladimir Putin invited the Chinese manufacturers, and that's it. There will be number 11. It's just number 10 that the industries are getting ruined. That's just one of the examples. And there are other examples as well. The energy sector. We will see decline. We will not see new constructions of transmission distribution facilities and generation facilities. So the country will be slowly declining in its energy infrastructure, patching things up as they break. And this is not a way to actually run the country. But this is what we're having, and there will be more of it. Number 11, crisis of transportation. Where do I start here? Russia does not produce its own planes. It's either Boeings or Airbuses. And it's very sophisticated equipment. I think we all understand that. And the planes need systematic maintenance. They need to get serviced by engineers either from Boeing or from Airbus. And they need the spare parts that are manufactured on the same plane, on the same factories where the planes were manufactured. And Russians don't have access to that. There will be, I'll just give you one example. In the year of 2019, I've heard two numbers. I don't know which one to believe. One number is 11, another number is 43. 43 accidents recorded in the Russian aviation industry. Every accident is recorded because there is, or at least it used to be, a special agency, Russian safety of flying agency. Okay, and then they monitored all the airlines, and they were making sure that the planes are a safe way of transportation as possible. So either 11 or 43 in the entire year, and not one single accident up in the air. In 2023, in the second part of the year, there were 3 accidents every day, most of them up in the air. Folks, this is not good. There is an ongoing crisis, and the crisis is becoming worse as the planes fly and age. Okay, they will be falling down. Same goes for the trains, because lots of trains are manufactured with foreign parts. And cars are becoming a luxury. This is what we had in the USSR. Car was not a way of transportation, it was a luxury. And it's becoming a luxury right now in Russia, which is a shame, okay? And regular city transportation is suffering as well. There was a huge accident today. 2 trams collided, head-to-head collision, because one tram malfunctioned. I think there was something wrong with the brakes. In order the city transportation running smoothly, buses, trams, and so forth, you need to maintain them, okay? Again, that is a heavily subsidized industry, and if subsidies dry up, so the risk of accidents, fatal accidents, just skyrockets. There were 100 people injured today, out of the blue, head-to-head collision of 2 trams. How can you have 2 trams collide? I don't know, but, probably will tell you tomorrow in the Friday news update. So I have picked 11 major areas of life that are going to deteriorate, okay? And it is bound to happen. Combine them with increasing war of Russian political clans, and you will get a sad country with very low living standard and impotent army to gain any wins in Ukraine at the war, but army strong enough to continue the war, okay? World War I situation. I foresee Russia becoming another Iran. Before the war, Russia was not under any sanctions, and Iran had been under sanctions for 40 years. The living standard of an average Russian was 3 times higher than that of an average Iranian. But Russians are catching up very fast. The biggest loser of the war is, well, obviously Ukraine. I can't really say it's a loser. It's a victim, okay? Ukraine is suffering for nothing. It has been invaded by its neighbor. But the real loser here is Russian people. They have allowed the war to happen. They have allowed to continue. They have had many chances to change the course of things in Russia already in this past 2 years. A very real chance was given on March 17th when there was the presidential election. So a lot of Russians voted for Vladimir Putin. So this makes me right to say that Russian people have allowed the war to happen, and they are allowing it to continue. And it is their fault, okay? And by the way, this is my fault as well, and I admit it openly. Mark my words and record it, okay? My responsibility as well. And Russian people are the ones who will ultimately pick up the bill for all the killings of the Ukrainians. And I also am picking up the bill. I have been for the past 2 years. I've been living in exile, and I've got through tremendous hardship. Physical, personal, mental. Has anyone counted mental hardship that, a lot of us, 3 million of us who have fled, have been going through, okay? But our hardship is nothing to compare what Russians who remain in Russia are facing, okay? Putin will not run out of money to continue the war anytime soon. No. But he has already run out of money to keep Russians' lives somewhat decent. And Russian people, regular Russian people, they will be paying the price for that for a long, long time, for generations to come. And this is my answer of when Putin will run out of the money, and this has been my message. Thank you so much, friends. Fantastic to see everyone be back, and it's great to be back. I took a little break, and this is my first stream in a while. Fantastic. Thank you for coming. I would like to invite everyone to live stream chat. It's my most favorite part of any live stream, when I see that chat becomes alive and everyone comes in to say hello, to ask questions. And that's what I'm seeing right now. It's great to be back. I took a little break, and this is my first stream. Somehow my audio is not working, but hey, it's what happens when you back. So friends, I'd like to thank the moderation team. Thank you so very much for coming, friends. Lorna, Mammy K, Dirk, Harry, Potnin, Bob S, and Amir Fazad. Thank you so much. I see everyone here. Fantastic to see you, friends. Thank you. The usual suspects, I missed you all. I had a good time, rested a bit, and I'm back full of energy and, full of desire to move on and move forward. But during these days, I'm so used to streaming every day that I missed you. Fantastic to see the usual suspect. As usual, folks, if you want me to notice your message or question easier, please put it in all caps and put inside Russia after @ sign so it appears highlighted in orange for me. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I'm seeing a lot of people saying welcome back. Thank you so much. Again, thank you. You look rested. You sound like a 1945 newscast. I'm not a tech guy. What can I say, Pinda, I'm sorry. Commentating D-Day, maybe. Koshkin Dom, howdy. Frank, Kevin, Irwin, Great Southern Land, KG1, John, Bakerstock, Terry, Indiscreet, Life, good to see you, friends. Doug. Okay, I'm not on the phone in the bathroom. I don't know, something happened to my mic. It shows that it's working, but Roadcaster. And it's not picking up sound. I don't know why. All is well here, but so I'm not in the bathroom, sorry. God, President Reagan, howdy. Andrew from South Africa, Alex from Denmark, Reinhard from Berlin. Remember live chat? I remember live chat, yeah. Ron, great to see you. Thank you so much. Mojave Desert is in the house. Thank you, friend. You know what? I would love to use your bedroom, but just I can't get there. That's the problem. Thank you. this topic, what I said today, I find very important. I had lots of time to think. I didn't do any streaming, obviously. I prepared a couple streams, and this one is very important. And you know what happens when the stream is important? Something happens either with my sound, or it gets interrupted, or things like that, and bada bang, I sound like, how did you say, in the bathroom? Sounds like the sound is coming from the wrong, yes, certainly coming from the wrong microphone. It's coming from my laptop. I just don't know how to switch it back, because everything seems to be in order. Like, it should come from good in the microphone. So, sorry, friends. Sam K, Sam the Legend, thank you for gifting memberships. Kickstarter for the Tallinn tour. Let me know when you're here. Thank you, friend. Thank you so much. Well, you know what? I would love to come to 3 countries: Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. Unfortunately, it's as difficult as coming to the USA. Russians are facing, and I'm not making excuses, and I'm not complaining, okay? I'm just telling you the facts. Clouds are thickening. Black clouds are thickening for Russians. There are more and more cases that Russians are getting kicked out of Dubai. Now just businesses, okay, not the individuals, but there are more and more cases of Russians getting their bank accounts closed. Norway just announced that it will not take any Russians except for students, family members, and I think this is it, medical emergencies. So no tourists can come to Norway anymore. And this is a precedent, okay? The US banks do not open bank accounts to Russian passport holders any longer. And the clouds are thickening, so I don't think I'm gonna get to Tallinn anytime soon. I'd love to, though. Thank you again. Jules Rames, thank you so much. Good to see you. You have teenage children as tech support. They're sleeping. You know, this is like 1:13 a.m. I can't wake them up. Yes, they would probably help me. Especially Michael, 7-year-old, he knows more than I do now. It's a shame. I used to be the tech support for my mom and dad. Sias, if not money, will they run out of weapons? They will run out of weapons to the point where they won't be able to advance, go forward. But they will produce enough weapons to keep their grounds, okay? The situation more and more reminds me of World War I. You know, when the Germans and the French were sitting in the trench line, it was like 1,000 kilometers long, for years, not going back or forth, just sitting there, taking 50 meters, letting 50 meters go, and then millions of people getting killed. So this is the answer to your question. I don't think that they will run out of weapons, but I don't think that they will produce enough to gain anything significant in Ukraine. This is such a useless war. As an economist, I'm sure you've heard the saying, if your outflow exceeds your income, your upkeep will be downfall. Well, you know what? This particular phrase I did not hear, okay? But this is basically exactly what I was trying to say in the stream. I was trying to say that in many words. You just nailed it in one phrase. Thank you. Outflow exceeds income. and the upkeep will be the downfall. Yes, Ness is exactly right. Thank you so much. Amir, thank you for sponsoring 10 people. Thanks. Gosh, even my camera is standing crooked because I took it with me on vacation, and I'm like, the heck is going on? Everything is falling apart. Caesars, good to see you. How was the mood in Uzbekistan during Putin's visit? I tried to run away as soon as I could. Not anger. This is how the mood was. We were all angry. The funny part is when he was going to wherever he was going to, this hotel or the guest house of the local president, my wife and kid were locked up at the grocery store for 30 minutes. Basically, we live near one of the big roads that usually the officials travel to back and forth. And then it was all surrounded by the armed policemen and guards. And for 30 minutes, 15 minutes before Putin came, 15 minutes after he left, he just drove by basically, okay? All people were locked in inside. No one was allowed to step out. And then there were billboards all over the road, along the road that he was being driven on. And they said, His Excellency Vladimir Putin, welcome to Uzbekistan. So he wasn't called the president, he was called His Excellency. But we were all angry. Okay, that's what the mood was. William, thank you so much. I've caught KGB agents following us on a couple occasions, but I'm still okay. I took a break and I tried to make community posts, describe what was going on with me. So, not like I was hiding from anyone. I can't, what is bothering me is one shoulder is, this camera is crooked. Nige, thank you so much. Thank you, I appreciate from the UK. I was able to buy an entire bag full of the tea from the UK, Marks and Spencer's, Twinings, and Taylor's at Harrogate. I got like 3 or 4 kilos of Yorkshire Gold. It's great tea. So thank you so much for all the support. Nikki Bedford, thank you. Blackhead, good to see you, friend. How's Mama? Is she able to visit? Hopefully she'll visit soon. Yes, she's fine. She's doing good. She's healthy, in high mood. Thank you so much. Definitely much appreciated. Again, I'll let you, after the stream, I'll email you the picture of her with flowers. So thank you. KG1, they're saying 130 countries attending the International Economic Forum in St. Petersburg. Do you have any info on them? I sure do. You're talking to the right guy. I'm going to make a stream about that. Used to be a real economic forum back in the day, but now it's become a clown show. No, I don't believe that there are 130 countries attending the International Economic Forum. Well, later on that. Please keep on tuning in for more streams. Okay, so Koshkin Dom had a birthday on the 4th of June. Dirk, thank you so much. So, well read and understood. The birthday song is coming. Santi Prieto, thank you so much for sponsoring one person. TKY, what do you need to get here? I don't know what I need. I think it's just impossible. I think visas are not given to Russians. That's pretty much it. That's what I need. I need a visa, and I don't know how to get one. Couple people I know were just turned down for American visas. Every Russian that travels now to, not every, but if you want to travel to Europe, there's a country called Montenegro, and it's open for Russians, visa-free travel. Then Serbia, but Serbians are cooperating with the Russian government, and they just deporting Russians who Russian government is looking for. They arrest them and deport them to Russia, so that's a very dangerous country to go to. Southeast Asia is visa-free travel. Then the United Arab Emirates, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, visa-free. Where else? Well, that's it. That's pretty much where we can go now. We can't even go to Mexico. It used to be visa-free, but now they simply are not letting Russians on the planes to go to Mexico. They suspect that every single person who comes to Mexico is a potential illegal U.S. border crosser, which is not the case, but... Mo, thank you so much for coming and finally speaking. Thank you for silently viewing and finally, talking here. Thank you. Switzerland, fantastic country. One of the best countries I've ever been to, Switzerland. That's just, I love it. Really perfect place to live. Yeah. Denis Mintas, Lavrov got a decoration from Burkina Faso, Order of Stalin. Yeah, Stalin, Italian Stalin. Yeah, I know. This is face palm situation like every single day. I unplugged from the news for about 5 days, and then I got back and I started reading news again. And every single news that comes to me, it's like a face palm situation. And this news about Lavrov being honored by the Order of Stalin. I mean, what can I say? Look, friends, we have one member of the Inside Russia who's really, really a great guy, and he's a pillar of Inside Russia, and he had a birthday on the 4th of June, and I'd like to sing happy birthday song, so please be warned and cover up your ears, because, it's gonna hurt otherwise. That's Koshkin Dom. I know Koshkin Dom's name, but I don't release names unless a person releases himself or herself, So here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Koshkin Dom. Happy birthday to you. This is the prettiest I could sing. So I am wishing you fantastic belated birthday. I don't know I can say that, but I'm wishing you good health. I'm wishing you to be surrounded by people who you love and who love you. I wish you have many reasons for smile, be healthy and wealthy. Happy birthday, friend. Vidar Peterson, welcome to Inside Russia. Mikhail, thank you so much. Thanks. I missed streaming. I missed this. I don't know. To me, it's not hobby anymore. It's not work. It's not. It's really hard to categorize what YouTube has become for me. It's been quite a ride, and it's like a mission. Okay, so I really missed streaming. I missed chatting with you, and incredible. I'm having a good time right now. I'm really glad to be back. It's what is driving me nuts is I look at myself sitting and I sit crooked. TKY, can't Thomas help? Well, listen. How do you? I understand what you're saying, all right? Can't the ambassador? How do you picture me going out and saying, "Hey, please help me out with a visa"? Okay, I think it would be very unethical on my side, and I think it would be very wrong for him to help me out on his side. Okay, so I'm not even going to try to ask him for anything like that. That's just, I don't think it's right, basically. Okay. So he probably could help easily, but I'm not even going to try that road. Sam K, will Mr. P trust 50-year-old helicopters in thick fog? Well, I don't think he flies helicopters any longer. I don't think he flies planes much. He's cut down his plane like traveling. He takes trains now. He thinks trains are safer. Jekyll N, all the way from Australia. Fantastic to see you, friend. Thank you. As usual, no message, but your message is heard and much appreciated here. Thank you. Werner, will there be a Putingrad? Hopefully not. Richard Burris, thank you so much for sponsoring. Need orchestral accompaniment. Keith, sending my love to Hawaii. 21 months of praying for Ukrainian independence. Dave, good to see you. Thank you. JBT Online, Yorkshire Tea and Twinings. There you go. I think that's 100% as well. Darren, I know that sound is poor, but no, it's not KGB. It's not nothing like that. That's me messing something up. I don't even know what I messed up. VJ John, June 6th will mark the 80th anniversary of the D-Day landing along the Normandy coast during World War II. This event, which ultimately led to the liberation of Europe. And, well, not just this event led to liberation in Europe, but it helped, okay? Don't disregard this Russian army, the Red Army, that was pushing from the east. What I find very ironic and very sad for Russia in this event is that Russia was not invited. Russia was fighting the war, World War II, and Russia was the major player. It had all the help from the coalition, from the UK, from the USA, from Canada, I think, but Russia was the major player. It was the country invaded by the Germans, and it always, I mean, how you can not celebrate it without Russia, but this is just, I don't understand what Russians think of them not being invited to this pretty historic date, the 80th anniversary. Do they feel anything? Okay, do they feel anger? Do they feel shame? I do. I feel lots of shame for that. My country had to do something pretty terrible to not get invited, okay, and it did. Anyway, Bland Zero, any idea what happened to Nikki from Russia? Well, of course, I have a pretty good idea what happened to him. I am in touch with him. I met him personally. Last time we communicated was a month ago, something like that. He's basically taking it easy, okay? He's chilling. He's fine. He's traveling through all over the world, Southeastern Asian countries. That's as much. I know where he's planning on going to, but I'm not gonna tell you because it's his life. I'm not gonna release too much personal information. So, but he's fine. He's fine. He's just taking it easy. I'm not sure whether he's going to come back to YouTube internet. That's, again, I don't know, but he's fine. Do you think this will escalate into World War II? Marshmallow, I would say no, but I don't know at this point. I hope and pray not. So, Darius Taylor, thank you so very much. I wanted to say thank you for all your updates and insights. Also, I want to let you know how much I appreciate your daily prayers. I need to hear them. Darius, thank you so much. We'll definitely pray in a couple minutes, so please join us. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's a tough name. Concealed carry convenience. I hope I pronounced it right. Thank you so much for your support. No message, but the message is heard and appreciated. Thank you. Friends, thanks. Lorraine Prasnovsky. Lorraine, great to see you. 30 months. You've been a member of Inside Russia, the supporter, for 30 months. And before that, I remember, even before that, it's in my first videos and streams. Thank you so very much. Fantastic to see you. Richard Burris, thank you again. I'm feeling a little out of sorts. I'm sorry, I need to get back into the routine, not routine, but into this procedure. Okay, sorry. Blackout, thank you, I know. Thank you, the best part. All right, shall we? Can't Thomas help? I can't believe you asked me that. All right, folks. Thank you. Just to give you a little plan, not little plan for the next. I've been away for 8 days and I start losing the edge. Okay, this is insane. Tomorrow there will be a crazy news update, and I have so many crazy news, you're not gonna believe it. Saturday will be hopefully 2 videos. One video I'm making on why foreigners come to Russia permanently. Okay, so this idea for this video I had when I was away. I keep receiving notifications on YouTube, my personal account, about foreigners from all over the world, from Canada, from Australia, who live in Russia, who recently came or came a long time ago, and they're doing some reporting from Russia. Okay, I know some of them personally, and I've heard so much about some of them, but I was looking at the questions that I receive on this channel, and then one question is very asked is very often. What people ask one question often. They say, Konstantin, how is this possible that you are telling us that Russia is not doing well at all, and all these foreigners who come to Russia, they're saying completely opposite thing. They're saying that Russia is great. That's why they moved to Russia. And, I don't hide from questions, even though I find them not unpleasant, but, just people trying to put me on the spot. You are the witnesses. I never hide from this stuff, okay? I never hide from the trolls and things like that. So I started thinking, really, why? Why? There must be a reason, okay? And I came up with this idea for this video, and I'm finishing making it, and it'll be called Why Foreigners Come to Russia. Well, I'll give you my point of view, my angle onto this phenomena. Then hopefully I will release it on Saturday, and before that, of course, as usual, we will have private stream for sponsors and patrons only. That's just a private stream, slow-paced, more personal, where we just hang out. It's like, in my eyes, it's like going out to a pub on Saturday night with lots of friends and just hanging out. So please, all the new members come and join us. Should be fun. Then on Sunday there will be a stream either on the new taxation system in Russia that was introduced last week, or on St. Petersburg Economic Forum. I have not decided yet. I'm still thinking. Either way, it's going to be interesting. I see that Jason Carney is back. Good to see you, friend. Thank you for all your support. The champion of super chatting of Inside Russia. I hope you're feeling better, recovered, 100%. We still pray for you every single day. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thanks for the supporting. And fantastic to see that you've sponsored 5 people. Thank you, Jason. Thank you. So, friends, please come back tomorrow, which is Friday Crazy News Update. Come back on Saturday for private live stream for sponsors and patrons. And hopefully come back on Saturday for another video called Why Foreigners Come to Russia. And on Sunday, usual stream, and then after that, the entire week of streaming. So I'm back. I don't intend on slowing down, just trying to speed up as much as I can. Thank you. I invite everyone to finish this live stream with a prayer, as usual. If you're religious, please join us. If you're not, please join us anyway. Call this whatever you like, sending good wishes to people, sending good vibes, asking universe. In my eyes, it's all the same. So let's do it. Dear Lord Jesus Christ, thank you so much for this day that you have given us. Thank you for the food that you've placed on our tables. Thank you for the roofs that you've given us above our heads. Thank you for all people who we love and who love us. Thank you for surrounding us with them. Thank you so very much for our children. Please give us wisdom to keep the skies above our children's heads safe and peaceful. We fail to do so on many occasions, but please give us wisdom so we can do that. Please give us wisdom to raise our children in the way that when they grow up, they will never fight in any war. They will love each other and make this world a better place. For now, please keep our children safe and healthy, because they are our world and our life. Dear Lord, please help stop the bloodshed in Ukraine. Send angels so they help every single person in Ukraine. Please help every single Ukrainian who has been affected, answer their prayers, and make their dreams come true. Reach out and touch the hearts and souls of those who are responsible and capable to make the decision to stop the bloodshed. Open their hearts and fill them with love, so these people wake up and remember that they're human beings and they're still capable of loving others, and make this decision to stop the bloodshed. Dear Lord, please help my country, Russia. Assemble your strongest angels with sharpest swords, led by Saint Michael, into your heavenly army, and send it like avalanche down to the earth to get rid of the demons who have hijacked Russia, who we know by their faces, by their names. Please send angels to help good Russians to run the country, make it peaceful, loving, and respecting. Dear Lord, please help everyone who is traveling, send them safe travels. Please help all the single mothers who are struggling, raising their children, trying to make ends meet. Please help those who are seeking for any kind of asylum or looking for any kind of help. Please help Ukrainians who are currently under attacks or under risk of attacks from Russia. Send them safety, and bless those who are helping Ukrainians. Dear Lord, please help everyone in need, everyone, the ones who are sick, the ones who are hungry, the ones who are addicted, homeless, jobless, depressed, betrayed, not feeling well about themselves and about their lives, and feeling lonely and alone in this world. Please fill their hearts with love and care, and have them feel that you have not forgotten about them, that you are standing right next to them, that you love them, that you care for them as parents care for children. Please have them realize that they are not by themselves, they're not alone in this world, and they have you supporting their every move, every step. Please help everyone in need. Thank you. Thank you so much for allowing us to come together and pray. Thank you for everyone who's praying right now or simply watching us pray. Please answer everyone's prayer and make everyone's dream come true. Dear Lord, I would like to ask you to help a few people who reached out and asked for help. They are Ann Larson and her daughter Hannah, Jeffrey S. and his family, Alex from Albuquerque, Mark Rutten, Gaping with Gary, Remy, Paula W., Dennis, Daniel McInnes, Lisa Kumrian, Tom W., Terry Carter, Ron Klotzer, John McLean, Linda Trombley, Warren Spees, Jay Spike, James Marston, Frank Caprio, Jim, Frank in Texas, Tim Mayers, Larry, Callan's Dad, Dominic, Jason Carney, please send full recovery, Susie Mailer, Kyle E.'s wife, Morgan L., please help with recovery, Dory, Electron's family, Deborah, Kurt, Bogey, Wayne, Dave, Don, Buzz Salmon, Leslie Fleming's daughter Taylor, Hannah, Julia Haney, Darla, Lise Dumbrell, White Lightning, George Ruberty, Yelena, Natasha, Jake, Michael, Oля, Dasha, Sky, Svetlana, Randolph, Grace, Mr. Dean Spooner and his church, Liz, Karen, Leif, Stefan from Sweden, the Highwayman, Alvin, Meta Spencer, Joe and Lee McMahon, Pamela J., and please help little girl Sarah, who needs recovery, and her parents, who need strength. Thank you so much, dear Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. My friends, thank you. You are absolutely awesome, and you rock. I wanted to remind you that. Don't forget it. And I hope to see you tomorrow at the Crazy Friday news update. And again, there's so many crazy news in Russia. I don't even know where to start, okay? As usual, I'd like to ask you to finish this live stream with following. Please say out loud along with me, as loud as you can. Carthago delenda est.